Welcome back to Teiufs of Talks, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to 2019. I think it's time we update the intros and outros, don't you? We're getting updates across all the other channels, and I don't want to wait till the end of the video to show you the new ones, so here you go. Huge shout out and thankfulness goes to B2DJ on Twitter for helping me make this year's animations. I think they look really great. And if you don't like them, that's too bad, because I wasn't asking for your opinion. So let's move on. A lot of people are probably very curious as to why Drew now has a silver MacBook Pro. Well, if you guys remember in a couple earlier vlogs, I was talking about that 5K iMac that was sitting on the floor over there and not really doing very much. We haven't been able to find a buyer for it, and I looked online to see how much it would cost to sell it on eBay. And while it seemed to be a somewhat viable option, the real killer was going to be the shipping price, which meant that in order to ship that giant iMac, because it's a very big product in a very big box and it's very heavy, in order to ship it anywhere in the world or somewhere relatively close, like within the United States, it would cost over $100 in just shipping prices, which meant that in regards to selling it, I wasn't really going to have much more success online compared to what I was having locally, and most people were offering very low numbers that I was not happy with. And a couple days ago, I got an offer from someone within the general area of California. His name was George, and he had a silver MacBook Pro 13-inch. And I know a lot of people right now are like, Drew, why would you trade this? This is so much less powerful. The CPU is not as good. There's not as much storage. Well, hold your horses, why don't you, for just a second. For one, this is not the baseline MacBook Pro, okay? This has 512 gigs of SSD storage, 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got an i5 CPU. So CPU is not the greatest out there, but what I can confirm, because my wife has actually been doing a lot of editing for our other channel, which I'll talk about later, that we've been working on together, we put Blackmagic footage on this thing that we shot at 4K 30 FPS. We put that on here with Final Cut, and it was able to edit it no problem with color correction, raw editing, no background rendering turned on. It handled it just fine for what we needed to do. So it's got the touch bar, it's got Touch ID, which is cool, 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports as well, and so far it's been very snappy. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, Drew, you bought an iPad, so what do you need a MacBook for? Well, in the past I have owned MacBook Pros, but the reason I didn't really use them very much was because I never really took editing home with me. But now that I'm married and I have my wife at home and she likes doing video editing too, I'm kind of teaching her the ropes of Final Cut so that she can learn how to edit videos over on our other channel. It's actually been very helpful to have a fairly capable computer that we can take to the office and home and back. Whereas before, you know, when I was living by myself and I was a bachelor, I essentially just had a bed at my apartment and I just went home and slept on it. And honestly, half the time I ended up just staying the night at the office. It was kind of a waste of money, but essentially it didn't really make sense for me to have a laptop back when I did. And obviously when we had an editor, it made more sense to have a 5K iMac and the iMac Pro. But now that I'm the only person working at Teiufs and it's just me, having two iMacs was so redundant. I was not using the 5K iMac at all. It was literally just sitting on my desk and I was using it as an external monitor, just displaying like the chat while live streaming. It was not useful. Whereas this can do everything I was using the 5K iMac for and also be mobile. So overall, I know that the value of the MacBook Pro is not as high as the 5K iMac, but you have to take into consideration the offers I was getting for the 5K iMac were way less money than this is actually worth. So this trade, while a little bit weird for a lot of people, actually made the most amount of sense for me in my situation, and of all the offers we got, this one was of the highest value. I checked the system information on the MacBook Pro and it only had 5 battery cycles on it. If you don't know what that is, one battery cycle equates to using 100% of the battery, which means that he's only used this and recharged it up 5 times. So it's still a very new MacBook Pro. There's no battery degradation or anything. And like I said, everything on it has been incredibly snappy. So I'm very happy with this purchase. I know a lot of people are probably confused by it because they're like, Drew, but a 5K iMac is big and this is small. I need it to be small. I already have a 5K iMac. I have an iMac Pro that I'm doing everything on, and this is able to handle what I need it to just fine. Plus it's also mobile, so we can do stuff at home, we can do stuff at work, and take it back and forth. And when I need to upload videos on the different Wi-Fi network, which is what I was using the 5K iMac for, I can just airdrop them to this laptop and then bring them closer to the router now and upload with the other Wi-Fi even faster than before. So overall, it's just been a great purchase. I kind of missed having a MacBook as well. I like the touch bar. I loved having Mac OS on the go. And don't think that I don't use my iPad anymore either, because the main advantages of my iPad Pro are still very much present. Just as I was using using today, masking out the modular Mac Pro design for this tech video's thumbnail. Having this Apple Pencil and the 120 hertz in the display being a touch interface is so much easier for masking out stuff, especially in the nitty-gritty details of the Mac Pro. Compared to doing it with a mouse on a screen like this, the iPad's advantages are still present, and I'm still using this thing every single day. But now, instead of having a giant iMac on the floor doing nothing, we have a mobile editing station that we can take home. Me and my wife can edit on it there, and then when I need it at work, I can use it here as well. Plus, it's silver, so it goes along with the ecosystem perfectly, given my iPad Pro is also silver, which simply means we have two 13-inch devices that look really, really cool. They're both made by Apple, and they're both fairly current. So that is the situation with Drew's new MacBook. Not to mention, we have completed the ecosystem now. We have an iMac, Mac Mini, Apple Watch, phone, iPad, plus the MacBook, so that's everything. We got it. Next bit of new stuff you have to be excited for is the Razer Phone 2 wireless chargers finally showed up, and this is, of course, primarily going to be used by Wyatt, so I think it makes the most sense that Wyatt gets to unbox this. So let's go.
1337. It's leaked.
Oh.
It's leaked.
Oh, okay. Leaf. Gotcha. Okay, Wyatt, what do we got today?
Well, after a painstaking process of waiting since we...
Contacting Razer.
Since we got the Razer Phone 2.
Of course.
We've been searching and searching the website for days on end, seeing if this was in stock.
Mashing the refresh button.
This is the wireless charger for the Razer Phone 2.
They've made 5.
They've made about 5 in total, and this is the 5th one.
So the reason we say they made 5 is not because we know that. It's because they launched that alongside the Razer Phone and went out of stock like that. Like, as soon as the Razer Phone was available, that was out of stock, like instantly. Yeah. And it only just a couple days ago came back in stock. And of course we ordered one, and yes, it's expensive and it's stupid, but we want to look at it.
We want to see if it works. So.
There's a plastic tab on the back, I think, that peels off. Green arrow.
I see, yes.
Okay.
So we'll take that off.
Give that. Nice tear. Ooh. It's a very thin box.
This is the first thing we see. It's a cord of sorts.
Okay, there's like a notch. This is going to go great with your green ecosystem.
Indeed. So here we go.
We're sliding out. Ooh. Razer's always fancy about their packaging.
I wonder if it's going to get a... Because in the box for the Razer Phone, there's a personalized letter from the CEO.
Ah, yes, that he signed himself. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at that charge brick it comes with. Holy crap. That looks fancy. Does that freaking light up? Holy crap.
That'd be cool if it did.
Wow.
Charging brick. It looks like it.
It could.
No, I think it's just engraved.
It doesn't, but it could.
Again, it'd be cool if it did, so here it is.
Is that USB-C on the other end? Ooh, nice. So it's just like the one that came with the phone, so you got 2 of those now.
Indeed.
Sweet, okay.
So here's the actual charger.
Whoa, it's pretty tiny. That's about it. Okay. Let's see how this works. Oh, it's got instructions. It says it works in landscape and portrait.
There it is.
Wow. Okay.
Let's see. So
did it come with a cable? Yeah, no, it has a cable.
Where's it?
It's in there. I see it.
Oh yes. Okay, it's in here.
Yeah. Okay. It's like, where's the freaking?
Oh, was it 2? No, this one.
Okay. So there's your USB-C.
There's a USB-C. So
that looks fancy.
Slides. So
you can charge it horizontally or
like that.
Mm-hmm. There's a little plastic in there.
Yeah. I think it comes out later.
Okay.
And you can...
Oh, it turned. I see. Okay.
It's surprisingly heavy.
Yeah?
It feels heavier than I would expect.
Oh, wow. That's got some beefiness to it. I think there's a full-on fan in there. It's got to cool down all these lights.
So
let's boot that bad boy up.
So now we're going to plug it in.
Oh, dude.
Oh, my
It's already lighting up.
Oh, my goodness.
Holy crap, that looks cool.
Wow.
Okay.
That looks great.
Screw this thing.
So, okay, sorry, girly gadgets. Here we go.
Please work. Oh, it made a sound. Holy crap. Whoa! That's pretty cool.
That's amazing.
Oh, it's all lighting up like, holy crap.
That's amazing. Wow.
This is the only RGB thing, like, other than the phone, obviously.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously it works with the Razer phone, as it should.
It is still charging?
Does it work sideways? You have to lean it.
Oh, for a second it worked. Oh, I can hear the fan. I can hear the fan. Oh.
Okay, it's charging.
Wait, no, punch. I can hear.
You can hear the fan going.
I can hear the fan.
You gotta cool down your charger. That's how legit this is.
That's awesome.
I love how rainbow it goes. So is there a button that turns that off, or?
Let's see.
It said charging rapidly, which is kind of cool.
Let's see. Is there a?
What's that on the front?
There it goes. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
So that button right there.
That button turns it off.
Turns it off. But why would you ever do that?
But would it?
Why would you ever?
Oh, it came back. Did you press it?
I pressed it.
Okay, here, turn it off. Make sure it still works. Oh, it's like a dim light now.
Okay.
Okay, it's charging and the light's off. Good, good. Razer's about options. They made sure that you can have the light off if you want, but obviously that's stupid.
Why would anybody do that?
So leave it on,
Then,
of course. Wow.
That's amazing.
So rainbowy. Yeah. That's neat. Okay. Is it worth that much though?
Yes.
It's worth the asking price. Yeah. Can your T charger do this? Wow. That's fancy.
And it can.
Oh, dude.
And you can do that.
Look at that. That is cool.
It almost looks like it's floating.
Yeah, it does. It's got a plasma halo around it.
Nice.
Holy crap.
It's the Bifrost.
Some of the Bifrost.
That's not it. So it has to be...
This bottom half
It
here.
has to be that bottom half.
Well, you can slide it in like that. There, it's charging. Huh. So you kind of have to hold it a certain way, but it sure looks cool.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's awesome.
Now, in the next bit of newness with the new year, you guys got a lot of new stuff today. Me and my wife have started our own separate channel that is not a part of the Teiufs network. It's very new. It's in its very early stages. There's not even that much for you guys to check out yet, but the primary difference with this new channel called the Ericsons, link in the description, is that Louise is primarily handling the editing process because I edit stuff all day, but she wants to do more couple style videos and challenges and wants to experiment with her own management of a YouTube channel, so I'm kind of letting go in the wheel and letting her take the lead on this one, even though I'm still primarily going to be there. It's mostly going to be me and her doing stuff. It's just supposed to be a little branch away from Teiufs. So if you'd like to see what Louise edits and what Louise is working on for content that will include me and her together, feel free to check out the Ericsons and hopefully it will be somewhat entertaining for you guys. But I'm pretty sure that wraps up everything, all the new stuff I wanted to talk to you guys about today. It's been fun, it's been real, and I appreciate you for sticking around. And let's hopefully make 2019 an incredible year for growth and for new content. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.